There is truly nothing better than making plans, setting goals, uploading videos about them, and then not doing any of the things I said I wanted to do. So today is going to be all about calling myself out, talking about books that I've yet to finish, that I've started, books that I hope to still read and finish before the year is over, and even some slight plans for 2022, which feels A, unreal, B, unrealistic, and three, I was counting with letters, where did that go? 2021, and not to give you an existential crisis, friends, is almost over and it feels absolutely unreal. I don't know where the year went. I feel like most of this year, at least to me, has kind of felt like a lucid dream. I don't know if I'm the only one. And there are plenty of things that I said I wanted to do in 2021, plenty of books I said I wanted to read. With that said, in that very messy intro, today I am here to discuss the end of the year tag, where we have a series of questions dedicated to obviously end of year, and where I discuss some of my reading plans towards December and eventually January, which is scary to think about. So we have a series of questions today. We have particularly 6. I will be leaving the original tag linked down below in case you guys want to check it out. I have been seeing the end of the year tag kind of roll around this year, I feel, more than I saw it last year. I feel like last year around this time of year, it was all about the finally fall book tag, and I never really saw the end of year tag, or maybe the end of year tag is new and I just don't know. But we're gonna answer these 6 questions and see where it takes us. And for question number 1, we have, are there any books that you've started this year that you still need to finish? Not to call myself out or anything, but yes, there is actually plenty of books that I've started this year that I have yet to finish. It's honestly a bad habit that I've developed at this point. What I found doesn't work for me as a reader is starting long books at the end of months, because then I don't finish them in time. They roll over into the new month, and at least when I was making TBRs, it was really hard for me to kind of keep reading those books because I kept thinking about, oh, but this new wave of books and this TBR, and I found myself kind of really limited by the TBR belief, if we want to call it that. And so now that I am venturing into potentially no more TBR territory, I feel a lot more freedom into actually picking these back up and potentially finishing them before the year's over. I feel like maybe if I make a whole completion project out of this, a reading vlog, I might actually finish these versus me just saying that I'm gonna finish them and then not doing so. Mel. Oh. Where are we at, Mel? What else? Oh, this one has been started as well and not finished. We are not doing very well with this question. Here we have them, and there's still two more. Decisions have been made, and this actually is a lot of books, and they're all kind of lengthy. Mistakes have been made. I'm trying to make myself feel better, but it's really just not happening. So, first book that I've started that I've yet to finish is Words of Radiance by Brandon Sanderson. It is sitting out there on my desk area, but I am currently 300-ish pages into that one, and even though I am loving it, I have just found it really hard to kind of keep going and actually getting to the Sanderland. But I really need to get back to it because you guys know I love Stormlight, and kind of just push through it and actually finish the book, which I definitely will. I definitely plan to finish it this month, hopefully, fingers crossed. Another one is The Titan's Curse, which is part of the Percy Jackson and the Olympian series. This is book 3, and I actually got a good ways into this book. I think I got like 100 pages into this book and then never really finished it. We've got Sword of Destiny, which is the second book in the Witcher series. I got 11 pages in, and then I started reading something else. It's been a mess. Like, I've just been starting books and not finishing them. Game of Thrones. Hi. I literally started annotating this book, and I was having a great time with it. I, again, had like my notes, and you know, I had like the whole thing going on. Oh, you're gonna see a theme here. Another one that I definitely want to finish before the year is over is Dune. I got how many pages into this one? I got 120 pages into this one. And again, another video that I was making, like I was gonna make a whole video essay on Dune, and then I didn't finish the book because I was really frustrated because I wasn't loving it. Southern Book Club's Guide to Slaying Vampires. I got 168 pages in. Again, I was annotating this. I was really loving this. You can hit me for this one. You can call me out. You can literally bully me in the comments. I still have not finished Well of Ascension. I am at the start of part 3. It's a mess. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore with my life. I also started City of Brass. I got 22 pages into this one. The bookmark's still in there. Shadow of Night, which is a part of the Discovery of Witches series, the All Souls trilogy. I got 200 pages in and I still have yet to finish this, and I'm just sad looking at this. Like, what is wrong with me? I need to finish these books. Hello? Thank you. Confirmation from the universe. I really do need to finish these books, and I'm just gonna take this away and put them away because I am ashamed, sad, and also just gonna probably hide forever after this video comes out and never see the light of day again because this is really shameful. Question number 2 to get out of tricky territory, because that first question was just asked a lot, do you have an autumnal book to transition into the fall season? Which technically now we are closer to the winter than we are to the fall, even though fall again doesn't exist where I live. So I guess I will go and kind of warp this question a little bit and go with two options. So an autumnal book that kind of transitions you into the fall, and then kind of like a wintry book that transitions you into the winter time of year. The perfect book to transition into the fall season, in my opinion, and I think of fall, I think of very cozy times, but books that tend to be a lot emotionally, things that we wouldn't necessarily want to read around the spring or summer, something that has a very dark tone. So for the fall, I'd say All Is Well by Mona Awad is a perfect book to transition you into that darker, more mellow time of year. Now in this book we follow Miranda, and she used to be an actress up until she had a very serious accident that left her with some serious chronic pain. Because of that, she has now had to transition from acting into teaching, and she conducts this theater program in this university. And now as a teacher, she is hell-bent on putting up a production of All's Well That Ends Well by Shakespeare, when her students would like to do the exact opposite and actually carry out Macbeth. And we basically follow Miranda through this very intense stream of consciousness as she attempts to put up this production, and as things start going awfully wrong, and the lines between reality, mania, and fantasy all blur together into this really big acid trip. I absolutely adored this book. I gave it 5 stars. It lives rent-free in my head. I think all of the theater references and all of the Shakespearean references, and again how all of these lines blur together, it really reminded me of Black Swan with Natalie Portman. So I really enjoyed my ride with this. I think if you want a really weird book, I think this is the perfect opportunity to dive into some darker reads for the fall season. And if you want to transition into the winter sort of whimsical area, I'd say Strange the Dreamer is a perfect decision for that. Strange the Dreamer is a book that is obviously very slow. It is a fantasy, which I think fits perfectly around the winter time, but also I think it's a book that its writing really sets the atmosphere. The writing is very lyrical, it's very whimsical, and it's very flowery. It's one of those writing styles that really just suck you in, that it's very easy to get lost in. So I think this will really transport you to a wholly different world and will truly give you all of the magical vibes of December and January, which I absolutely adore. And in this one we follow Laszlo Strange, who is a librarian, and there was once this city that everybody has forgotten, but he continuously dreams of it, and they call it the Lost City of Weep, though he doesn't really know why he's the only one that remembers very certain details about it and why he keeps dreaming of it. And so soon enough he gets this opportunity to travel abroad into the Lost City of Weep and potentially get all the answers to the questions that plague his brain. I absolutely adored this book. It's absolutely no doubt my favorite Laini Taylor, and this is also a book that has such strong reread quality. Anytime I think about this book, I'm like, I need to reread it, and I just need to go through my annotations again, re-annotate, and kind of reassess my takes on this because it's such a beautiful book. And the audiobooks for this duology are absolutely out of this world, so if you're more of an audiobook person, this will have you covered because the narrator is so talented that you literally get sucked in. I was listening to the second book and I didn't even want to follow along with my eyes, so this is a really good one for the winter. Question number 3 is there still a new release you are waiting for? There are 2 new releases that I still am waiting to reach my hands, and with that pun intended, You've Reached Sam is one of them by Dustin Thau. I am so freaking excited for this book. I have heard nothing but amazing things from the people who actually read early copies of this. I've heard that the book is like really sad, but honestly, for as weird as it sounds, like I know December is like a time to rejoice and like be happy and like spread happiness, and I do all of those things and I feel all of those ways, but for me, I also think that those mellow kind of sadder reads I love to get to in December. I don't know, there's just something about it that really transports me into this sort of fake winter vibe that I have going on because there is no snow here, it doesn't get cold here, and all of my fake winter vibes, I feel like this is the type of book that I'd read if I'd live elsewhere. And the other book that I really want to get to, and I am so freaking ready for this book to get here, is Cytonic? I still don't know how to pronounce this, but the 3rd book in the Skyward series by Brandon Sanderson. You guys, if you've been here for a while, you'd be no stranger to my love for Skyward, to my love for Spensa. She is one of my favorite female characters. I absolutely have loved every second reading her arc, reading her storyline, reading her growth as a character, and reading about this really amazing world and kind of system that Brandonson has built for this sci-fi in particular. It is definitely one of the first few sci-fis that I read, and I think it was the right introduction into sci-fi, especially because it's YA, but I'm more than ready based on the past 2 books to see what's gonna happen in this one, especially given the title. If you've read these, then you know how important Cytonic is, or what that word means for the plot and for the story and for Spensa. So I really am excited for that one. And I think as far as new releases releases go, I think those are the very last two that I'm like hell-bent, like excited about. I'm a very forgetful person when it comes to new releases, but I think that's about it. I think it's those two for me. What are 3 books you want to read before the end of year? This is a loaded question. This is a fucking loaded question, and I don't know the answer to this. What do I want to read before the end of year? I feel like all of my Dark Academias are a good answer for this. So this was actually really hard for me because I do have plans reading-wise for the rest of the year. However, I couldn't really nail down like exactly like, oh, what am I like particularly excited to get to? Because I feel like this whole shelf right here, which is why I have it up there, like I'm completely excited about all of the Dark Academias by the end of the year. I am really excited for those. There are still quite a few like high fantasies that I want to get to before the year ends, but I think I'll settle for this answer right here. And so for the first one, I have Emma by Jane Austen. Again, you guys know that the only Austen that I've read is Pride and Prejudice, so I am really excited to run through the catalog and read all of them. But I think out of all of the Austens that I have yet to read, for some reason Emma is the one that called to me the most. So I really am excited to get around to this. I don't really know what Emma's about besides the fact that we follow the main character Emma. So that's as far as my knowledge stretches, but I don't know. There's just something about this book that I just know out of every other Austen that I have yet to read, I feel like this is going to be my favorite out of all of them. So we'll see if that's true or not. I might be completely fooling myself and deluding myself into thinking that, but either way, I am excited about Emma. The Starless Sea by Erin Morgenstern is also a book that I've been looking forward to reading in December, and I am really excited because I am reading this with my Patreons for December. This is one of our Patreon book club picks. Again, it's like a similar situation to Strange the Dreamer, where it's mostly the lyrical writing that's calling to me, and we follow our main character Zachary within this library, and as he is kind of appointed this strange quest, and he only has 3 clues, which are obviously in the book. It's the bee, it's the key, and it's the sword, and he needs to go on this journey to see exactly what those mean and how exactly they're connected to him. I know this book has been like very hit or miss for people. It is one of my 5-star predictions. Am I good at guessing 5 stars for me? Absolutely fucking not. But am I still again deluding myself into thinking this might be a 5-star? Yes. Will it be? I'm not sure, but we shall find out in the month of December. And then my third choice is gonna be If We Were Villains by M.L. Rio. I think especially after reading All's Well by Mana Awad, I realized how much I like these sort of Shakespearean retakes, retellings, or these sort of Shakespearean elements within dark academic books or modern books that are just within the Gothic literature umbrella. And so this is definitely one that I have a lot of hope for. We follow Oliver Marks, who is recently released from jail, and he went to jail due to some events that happened when he was in college and in this Shakespearean club. And now as he is fresh out of jail, he is approached by this detective, officer, journalist, some sort of person that will try and get all of the answers from Oliver, and he is finally ready to tell all. Sounds so good. It's divided into like scenes and acts. Again, it has this very kind of play-ish, very theatric sort of structure. So I am super excited to get to this, and I hope it's no less than a 5-star. Is there a book that could still shock you and become a new favorite of the year? Honestly, I don't think so. I feel like I've read so many amazing books this year. I've read Way of Kings, Ace of Spades, All Is Well, and so many books that have truly just stuck with me throughout the entirety of the year as I've given you guys lots of recommendations that I just don't think there is gonna be like a new book that's gonna take me by storm. I mean, I'm sure some books will still be 5 stars and I'll still really enjoy them, but to the point where they'll replace any of these 3 books, I do not believe so. But I honestly will quote Justin Bieber here and say never. Like, I don't know if it's possible. I'm not ruling it out though, but I think it's very improbable that that will come about. And the last question is, have you already started making reading plans for the next year? Absolutely fucking not. I don't have any idea what's gonna go down in 2022. I have no idea what books I'm reading. I have no idea what I'm starting the year with. Last year I was so optimistic and I was like, oh God, I'm gonna start drafting my novel and then I'm gonna read so many books. It's gonna be something great. And then a lot of those things did happen, but a lot of those things also didn't happen. So any reading plans for 2022, I've got no fucking idea if I'm being honest. I mean, I think 2022 will be the year of really venturing like full on into like high fantasy land and really reading outside of my comfort zone and potentially discovering a lot of new favorites. And I also think moving forward with the potential no more TBR approach, but rather focusing on secret videos and secret TBRs and reading for very specific themes, I think that will also allow me to step even further out of my comfort zone. So I think, honestly speaking, since again I'm not making any TBRs, which therefore amounts to not really really planning much. I think more than anything, I just want to continue stepping outside of my comfort zone and not really settling for one sort of age group, one sort of genre, but really read well across the board. And you guys know fantasy will always be my ultimate love, but I genuinely think that if I keep challenging myself with the books that I'm reviewing, with the sort of books that I'm reading, my review style will change and adapt depending on the book that I'm reading, and hopefully the analysis will be deeper and more interesting and more engaging. So I think that's where my brain is going at, but I'm sure something will come about if I end up making another like reading goals for 2022. Let me know down below if you'd like a video like that, kind of detail out all of the things that I want to potentially accomplish in 2022 regarding reading. And that is it for today, you guys. That was the end of year tag. I like the fact that the tag is simple, it's short, and it's like very to the point with these questions. Also just continuously calling me out and not really knowing answers, not really being a planner despite saying that I'm a planner, and not being able to stick to a single thing because apparently I also can't plan for my life. It's all coming full circle. I think I'm realizing what sort of reader I am, and it's just honestly chaos. It's chaos with a little bit of chill. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to smash that like button down below, and also feel free to answer any of these questions down in the comments. I'd love to hear you guys' take on these, hear what books you have yet to finish, what books you're still looking forward to, if you think there will be any new favorites. I want to know all of that down in the comments, so feel free to answer this tag with me. If you have yet to subscribe, don't forget to do so down below. I am constantly uploading videos and I'm sure you don't want to miss. And if you want to support the channel further, I do have a Patreon. It is patreon.com/MelReads. If you want to join us or read with us, be on the Discord, chat with us every day, join the live streams, and it's a bunch of fun over there as well. That is always linked down below alongside all of my social medias. And yes, I love you guys so much, and I shall see you on the next one. Bye guys.